Welcome to the latest Motley Fool Scoreboard. I'm on in Chocovaloo, and we've got longtime fools, Dan Kaplinger and Toby Bordelon, giving a 1 to 10 rating to a top 100 company in the Moneyball database and the most well-run large cruiser, at least I'd argue, Royal Caribbean, ticker symbol RCL. Talk about the strength of Royal Caribbean's business first, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible, a 1 is hopeless. Toby's at an 8. Dan, you're at a 9.
I know, it's amazing. I'm totally shocked at myself because I'm not a cruise person. I've never been on a cruise. And frankly, I thought that the cruise lines were pretty much doomed during the COVID-19 pandemic. But boy, they survived. And not only did they survive, in the long run, they have thrived. And Royal Caribbean, very much the cream of the crop when it comes to how it performed both during the pandemic and coming out of it. And huge demand now. Just looked up the load factor recently, 110% in the most recent quarter. Everybody's clamoring to get on cruise ships, and Royal Caribbean is their favorite.
Yeah, I went with 8 here. Maybe it could have gone higher, but coming in with an 8. I never thought I'd say this about a cruise line, guys, but I'm not sure the business can realistically get any better than it looks right now. Like, where can they go from here? Demand is high despite the economic concerns we're seeing right now. Bookings are still very, very high. Competition is intense, though, so that's the reason I'm not going higher. Like, competition across the industry is really, really heavy. RCL, though, probably the clear market leader at the moment. I do have to wonder, though, how long this boom lasts.
If you're wondering how you can get a load factor above 100%, right, that's actual people versus capacity, it's because I think because people can share a cabin.
That's exactly right. If you've got kids in a 2-person cabin, you've got 3 people in that cabin's got 150% load factor at that point.
For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Toby's at a 7, Dan, you're at an 8.
Yeah, I gave CEO Jason Liberty an 8. He got promoted to the CEO job in early 2022. But he'd been with the company for 20 years. He'd been CFO since 2013. And in that CFO job, he was instrumental in helping the company survive financially early in the pandemic. I really like the work that Liberty has promoted to try to create an ecosystem that goes beyond the ship. And so you now have Royal Caribbean with exclusive land-based activities and clubs that go with the ship. I think that's just a genius move.
Yeah, I went with a 7 here. Now, management is solid, right? And certainly you got to give them props for navigating the COVID area. Good work there. I think, though, when I really look into this, much of what we've seen in terms of growth since COVID is more due to the circumstances of the industry than to management. So a part of me wonders, would they have done as well with someone else running it? I think maybe not quite as well, but I think they would have come close. So that's where I'm going with a 7 here.
Yeah, vertical integration in the cruise space. You probably don't want to be building your own ships, but doing that ecosystem and doing it that way, really clever. For people like Dan and me, maybe that's a negative because you're like, wow, this is really artificial. But for those who enjoy the cruises, maybe not. For financials, a 10 is a fortress, a 1 is yikes. Both of you have 7s, Dan.
Yeah, my score here a little bit lower than it has been on the past scores, and it's basically, look, I mean, they've done a really good job there. Financials do look pretty solid. Recent business metrics are good. But let's not kid ourselves. It's still a hugely capital-intensive business. There's a lot of risk involved with that. Royal Caribbean's got plenty of debt on its balance sheet. I'm still impressed with the way that they've been working to improve. And perhaps the biggest thing, they have an investment-grade bond rating, which, I mean, is just insane. When you think about everything this industry has gone through, it's going to be a huge plus for them financially going forward, too.
Yeah, 7 for me, too. It's really hard to get more capital-intensive than this business. I think you'd struggle to find one. Revenue growth has been great, though. Cash flow is getting better. Now, debt is high, as Dan noted. Debt is high coming out of COVID. But, again, capital-intensive. These ships are not cheap. Right? It takes money to buy one. They've been growing at a massive pace here. They've done a good job of paying down their COVID debt pretty steadily, though. We have seen that coming down, so I like that. Customer deposits for future cruises are high, too, so that's helpful, like extra cash sitting on your balance sheet.
Toby, let's talk valuation. How well will Royal Caribbean stocked over the next 5 years, and how safe is it? 10's a sure thing, 1's a lottery ticket.
I go 5 to 10%, maybe at the high end of that. I just don't see the growth rates we've seen over the past few years continuing. And I think that's fine. but we need to be realistic about what we're expecting after so many years of booming growth. 6 for safety. There is a real risk of recession here, and the middle class is feeling pinched. RCL, Royal Caribbean, they target a solid middle class cruiser, not the luxury market like, say, Viking does. Now, they do have Celebrity and Silversea Cruise Lines under their umbrella. This is a more luxury focused lines, but the bulk of the revenue is still from that main Royal Caribbean line. And I think that is solidly mass market space. So you worry a little bit about a potential recession here.
I'm more pessimistic. I'm at the lower end of 5 to 10%, and my safety score well below that at a 4. My concern here is cruise stocks kind of got a meme stock following during the pandemic, and share prices are therefore more volatile and sometimes move based on things other than fundamentals. I think the company did a great job getting through COVID, but the stock has tripled since 2019. And because of the share issuance that they had to do to raise capital, share count's 25% higher. I just don't think the company's worth that much more than it was 6 years ago.
Thank you to Dan and to Toby. They've given Royal Caribbean a Met overall score of 6.6 out of 10, despite a strong 8.5 for the underlying business. Maybe I'll look into it if it ever comes down from those lofty heights. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Ferrari. Till then, Fool on.